you and I have been to many film festivals, and there's something in the air at film festivals, right? That movies you see at festivals, you're like, oh my God, people overreact how great a movie is at a festival. You'll see it later on like VOD and go, why were we so excited? Which this makes sense. If you would share the story, Alan.
Sure.
Stop pretending standing ovations at film festivals are a thing. The thing is, almost nearly 99% of all movies at a festival, because you're in the room with the filmmaker.
Especially at Cannes, at Toronto, at Venice. This happens at every single movie.
Every movie at every film festival gets a standing ovation because they clap, bring up the filmmakers. Yay, they finished the movie. It's here. And first of all, there is something very magical about being in a room. It's like seeing someone's creative force brought to life and birthed into the world. And there's something very special about that. However, movies that they always get standing ovations. It's not special. But here's from the LA Times. Let's stop pretending that standing ovations at film festivals are noteworthy. If you would read, Alan.
Yes. This is from Tracy Brown. When Joker Folie de premiered at Venice Film Festival on Wednesday, the audience erupted into a standing ovation that lasted 11 minutes. The Hollywood Reporter clocked the applause at 10.5, while the deadline timer recorded 12.5 minutes. Whatever the exact length, star Joaquin Phoenix didn't stay to the end of the audience cheer. The actor was spotted exiting the Sala Gran Theater for 9 minutes after 9 minutes of clapping. 10 to 12 is impressive amount of time to spend standing and clapping after watching a movie. To compare, a regular episode of Bluey generally runs 8 or 9 minutes, including the opening theme and credits, while top Olympians can run a 5K in under 13 minutes. But the length of a standing ovation doesn't really have any correlation to the film's quality. Early reviews of Folie de Deux have been mixed, with some critics hailing Todd Phillips' Joker sequel as brilliant and impressively odd, to others calling it frustrating and underwhelming. Still, reporting the length of a standing ovation after a screening has become a routine part of film festival coverage, especially for Hollywood trades. On Monday, Pedro Almodovar's first English feature, The Room Next Door, made headlines for applause that lasted 17 minutes at Venice. This topped the 12 or 13-minute ovation clocked by Brady Corbett's epic The Brutalist just the day before, as is reported in the longest Venice Film Festival history. You want me to keep going?
No, you get the point. I mean, it's not a big deal. And reporting the length of the standing ovation. And also, I feel like audiences are trying to push it by, let's see how long we can keep this going. It's what I'm saying is it's not a barometer of a movie's success. Now, by the way, Joker 2 is getting mixed reviews.
Yeah. It's barely fresh, I believe, on
and also, if you recall, the first Joker also got mixed reviews. In fact, some critics went out of their way to give it bad reviews. So I don't trust any of this. We will see Joker 2 for ourselves. We will give our first review, and I'm just a wait and see. I mean, Todd Phillips, I love Todd Phillips as a filmmaker. I know him personally. He came from indie and underground film in the 90s. I distributed his first movie on VHS in the 90s. Okay. So I know him. He's in the upcoming Film Threat documentary. I'll say his mainstream movies have been very spotty. Hangover, amazing. Hangover 2, not so much. So we'll see. I love the concept of this movie. I think I know what he has in mind. It's a like Joker is based on influences from King of Comedy and Taxi Driver, Martin Scorsese movies. This movie, Joker 2, is based on New York, New York, another Scorsese movie. Is my theory, so if it's true, I think I'm gonna love it. I'm a wait and see guy, so I don't give you my opinion. I'll tell you what I think. The trailer, I'm all in.
Yeah, the trailer's amazing.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Alan?
Yeah, it's like inflation. When it happens all the time, it becomes useless. There's no value to it. And, look, I would say since I've been starting here and maybe a couple of years before, you just hear report after report of standing ovations as if it's the greatest thing ever. But when you hear it for every single movie that comes out of a festival, it means nothing now. It's like, oh, standing ovation. That's great. It's more noteworthy if you don't get a standing ovation. But to time it, and to your point, there's nothing like seeing a movie in a crowded theater, good or bad. And I will say, I think I will admit there have been times my judgment has been clouded because of the feeling and the vibe and the energy that comes in a room full of people, and that you are probably more prone to like a movie better in a full theater than you are by yourself at home on television.
Bingo.